7 travel lessons everybody should learn. This is near and dear to me. I love traveling. It's one of my passions. It's just something that just opens your mind and heart and soul to so much more things than not traveling. And it doesn't have to be exotic to be traveling. It could be something even local. Just experiencing new things outside of your current sphere is kind of like what's in my brain for travel. That being said, I mean, I love traveling everywhere. So the 7 lessons. Traveling with an open mind and a thirst for knowledge. So often we get stuck into these circles of similarity. And in a previous blog I did, The Dangers of the Single Story, where you can get stuck in a single mindset, and not knowing how to break that mindset is pretty dangerous because it pigeonholes you into the same decision if you're thinking the same way. So one of the cool things about travel is you get to meet and experience all these new things, which then challenge your pre-existing ideas and your biases and stuff like that. So then you can expand your sphere of understanding. Number 2 is look beyond the tourist hotspots and spend time with the locals. Don't get me wrong, I love the touristy stuff. Like when I go to Greece, seeing the Acropolis and the main monuments and the ruins and stuff like that are, I think, something that everybody should do at least once. But then get outside of that circle, right? If you're always within the tourist section, all you understand is the touristy stuff. Whereas if you go and actually meet the locals outside the major cities or outside the major tourist areas, you will start discovering the true heart and soul of that area. There's like, for example, we were traveling and we asked somebody where to eat, like where do the locals eat, and he's like, no, you're coming to my house and you're gonna eat dinner with us. It's like, that's amazing, right? We got this home cooked meal from this wonderful family. But if you hadn't gone outside the touristy area, that would have never happened, because a lot of times the touristy areas, there's a lack of trust because of all the weird stuff that happens with high-end tourism. Number 3, you're a guest in the foreign country. Be gracious and follow the rules. So many times we forget that we are in somebody else's house, and they have a rule set, and they have respect of certain beliefs, and those are something that we should follow. We're guests, so just be courteous. You're representing not only yourself but your country too, and that's, we kind of get a bad rap sometimes when traveling abroad, because there are some people who think they're better, and they don't respect and very much disrespect the people that they're visiting. So let's be better than that. Number 4 is travel is best on the ground, so take the long route. If you're always flying by plane, you do meet some amazing people. I've made some lifelong friends on the plane. But you experience so much more when you are traveling on the ground, either by train or by car. Not as much by car, but especially kind of walking, experiencing the slow route, as I like to call it. You meet so many more people and experience so many more things. For example, we were taking the bus one time, and it added, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 hours to our trip taking a bus rather than renting a car. But what was cool is the bus actually broke down, which then caused us to be in a city we didn't intend it. And then we had met all these people, and they invited us to the bar, and we were just hanging out, and we ended up staying at one of the locals' houses, and just like stuff like that just never happens if you're taking the fast way. Number 5 is question your preconceptions and try new things. Kind of back to one of my first points is we have stereotypes, we have pre-existing ideas of how the world works and beliefs. If you don't enter in with an open mind, open heart, and open soul, you're going to miss on so much. So when somebody offers you to try something or experience something, try it out. See what happens. I mean, safe and legal, of course. You gotta have those qualifications. Number 6 is appreciate every moment, for travel is a privilege. I mean, so often we forget everything about our lives as a privilege. There's so many things we take for granted. Roof over our heads, electricity, air conditioning. Lots of parts of the world struggle to put food on the table. And, when we have the ability to travel, don't rush it. Don't overthink it. Cherish every moment. Things will inevitably go awry. I remember one time flying to Greece. Our plane was delayed like 6 or 7 hours, and then we landed in New York City, and the other plane was taking off as we were landing, so we had spent the night in New York. It was kind of this whole debacle with the airlines. It was fantastic. So we met all these new people, and we kind of threw like an impromptu party. Somebody had, I think it was Walking Dead or something, whatever the show at the time was, and we were watching on the floor and with our little snack piles, and it was just, it was a blast, right? So if you go with that openness, you will enjoy every moment rather than, oh, I missed my flight and all the negativity that go along with it. Oh, and by the way, my bags ended up on like the other side of the world or something like that. They eventually made it back, I think, but not for that trip, of course. And number 7 is remember that the journey really never ends. Whether you're currently traveling or at home, there's always something new to explore and look forward to. The memories that you will create traveling versus buying stuff stay with you your entire life. Whereas stuff, it's just stuff. You can replace it, you can get rid of it, you can lose interest in it, but those memories are always going to be there. And to me, that's the greatest treasure out there, is having those experiences and building a life of memories. Because I won't speak for everybody, but I think the majority, they did a couple studies where they asked people on their deathbeds what they regret the most, and nobody regretted not having something. Everybody regretted not making a memory. So I'll leave you on that, and hope you have a wonderful evening. We'll see you guys tomorrow.